it's live, pal.
Sorry.
We will ban you from the Summerfest.
Right here in the Silverdome.
Jeff Harvey.
And I have half the brain that you do.
Welcome to Wrestle Hunks Weekly. I'm Brady Price, and as always, I'm joined by the Alexa Bliss to my Nikki Cross, Nathan Marlowe.
Hello, what's going on?
Not a lot, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a nice week.
Been a good week, and just getting started. We got SummerSlam and NXT Takeover this weekend, which I'm sure a lot of wrestling fans are looking forward to. And I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in and listening to our preview show for SummerSlam weekend. Obviously, if you want to get in touch with the podcast, you can do so through Twitter and Instagram at WrestleHunksPod. If you want to get in touch with Nathan on Twitter and Instagram at Nathan Marlowe, I'm at Evil Brady Price. Make sure you subscribe and leave us a little 5-star review, Dave Meltzer style. So we got that out of the way now. Let's get into the Raw and SmackDown recap. We'll just quickly get through some stuff before we get to predictions because that's the juicy stuff this week. One of the things we picked up out of Raw is Andrade and Ray had another match, another good match, surprisingly. And Andrade picked up the win. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, another great match. Hopefully this leads to not SummerSlam, but maybe Hell in a Cell. They can have a 25-minute match or something. Like, really, I like the work these two can produce. And they're sort of making it more personal as well with the mask, and Zelina helps get the win here. So I don't know. It's I mean, you can't really go wrong. They wrestled that many times on SmackDown, and no one's sick of it yet. So that's probably a good sign, I think. Yeah, I think a longer match on a pay-per-view, these two could tear it apart, especially with a good crowd that's invested. So definitely agree.
The 24/7 title changed hands a couple times on Raw. Mike Kanellis defeated Maria in the OBGYN, I guess, office. It's probably not even the office. The doctor wasn't a doctor, was the women's referee, which was very clever.
She refed every show this week on. Did she ref on NXT?
Potentially, she usually does. I'm pretty sure.
Because she refed on 205 Live, she refed on SmackDown, and she was on Raw.
She's working hard. And then Mike, celebrating his title win, was pinned by R-Truth. So R-Truth is the champion again. I think they said he's 11-time champion. So,
yep.
What were your thoughts on the shenanigans going on Raw?
I mean, you just gloss past saying R-Truth wins the title, but he had a baby and threw it at Mike Kanellis, and him showing his fatherly instincts, caught it, didn't want to drop the baby. It turns out it was fake, but R-Truth, too quick, too good. 1, 2, 3. Him and Carmella hightail out there, and the story's good. And Renee Maverick and Drake Maverick have had the week off, so I wonder what's going to happen at SummerSlam.
I haven't even thought about that. I hope they keep Drake Maverick in these storylines though, because he's been so good for the 24/7 title. And it's cool that they've added Mike and Maria into it, but yeah, you need to keep Drake Maverick in there. I would have thought he's just too entertaining not to.
Exactly right.
I mean, it's probably not the best 24/7 title stuff they've done, but still, I thought it was kind of funny. R-Truth dressing up in costumes always gonna get a laugh out of me. So next up, I think it was a match between Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander that didn't really get off.
Yeah, it didn't start.
After a start, yeah. We saw them I think Cedric ended up laying Drew out on the outside. They were both down, which led to the special guest referee Kurt Angle. He was then attacked by the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. What do you think of Kurt Angle sort of getting attacked by Bray?
Very, in two ways you could be like, you could kind of see something happening with that, but also at the same time, I didn't expect the Fiend to make an appearance. So in that respect, for me personally, I thought that was so much of a surprise, and I was excited for that. It was cool. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. I guess it was just another body to go through. Use the mandible claw on Kurt. So let's see where it goes.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it either, and it's I don't know. It's a good way to keep building the Fiend. Like, he's just attacking whoever he wants. It's a couple of legends now in Mick and Kurt. So I don't know. I'm just super excited to see him wrestle as the Fiend. It's going to be very, very exciting. Probably one of the things I'm looking forward to most about SummerSlam. So we'll see how that goes down. For Cedric and Drew, I mean, we don't really want either of them to lose, so it sort of just prolongs that inevitable match they're going to have. So that was fine. Just got here, Roman Reigns was almost killed again. This time it was Samoa Joe looking for him in the parking lot, and someone tried to hit him with a car as Roman got out of his car. So, and then Samoa Joe quickly turned into a good guy, telling Roman to stay down and he'll get help and whatnot. So, should we talk about the SmackDown stuff as well? We'll just talk about it in one.
Yeah, just do that. Yeah.
So towards the end of SmackDown, Buddy Murphy went into the men's locker room and wanted to speak to Buddy Murphy. Started beating him up, and then Buddy revealed that it was Rowan that was the one that tried to attack Roman on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. So this is sort of I think everyone sort of seen that it was Daniel Bryan that was supposed to be the attacker. I think so. What were your thoughts on the attempted murder again on Raw, and then finding out that Buddy Murphy thinks it's Rowan that did the attack?
Well, this is the most intriguing storyline they've got going, to be honest. I'm very excited for it. I was kind of hoping they would draw this out a little bit more. I wouldn't think we see Roman versus Rowan or Bryan at SummerSlam. So I think if they started this a week earlier, they could have done a thing where Roman confronts Buddy and then said, I don't know, something like they need to have a match together or something for him to tell him who it was. And obviously Roman's a lot better. So you'd beat Buddy, but you're kind of putting Buddy with a main eventer. Yeah. I think they should have done that, had another week of it, and then you'd find out. Well, the match would have been this SmackDown, and you find out it was Rowan. There you go.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping Buddy. I was hoping it was Buddy that was going to reveal. Yeah, Buddy Murphy did it, and then we could get Roman versus Buddy, but that's not the case. At least he got some airtime and he got to speak, so that's kind of cool. But
by accidentally walking in the back.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think there'll be? Yeah, I don't know what they do for SummerSlam. Whether they have a match for Roman or not. Maybe they just do something to further the story. I don't really know. Yeah,
I wouldn't imagine we don't see Roman at some stage.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Also on Raw, we have new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Bullshit.
4-way elimination match, which saw the Iconics, I think, eliminated first, and then it was Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose were eliminated, and then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeated the Kabuki Warriors to win the tag team titles. What are your thoughts, Nat?
Oh, Fire and Desire, Mandy and Sonya, they beat the Iconics, so they're now saying they should be next in line for a title shot, which makes sense. Then you got two heel tag teams facing off because we only have one babyface team, really. So it's interesting. They didn't let the Iconics defend these belts at all. I think that was all the uproar by the superstars on social media. I was like, they didn't really get a chance to do anything. They had two defenses in the whole run.
And one of them was the Jobbers.
One's the Jobbers, and the other one was a count-out victory. Yeah. So I don't blame the Iconics for what happened to these belts at all. It was clearly WWE bitten off more than they can chew with an extra set of belts. So in that respect, whatever. Good for Alexa and Nikki, especially Nikki. She gets to win a title on the main roster. That's cool. When are they going to pay this story off? When are they going to split?
I honestly don't know now. I kind of like the fact that now the titles are on Raw. I know that they're supposed to be on both brands because they're not specific to one show, but the Iconics were on SmackDown and they never really showed up on Raw. So at least we know that they give Alexa and Nikki TV time. So I mean, maybe we'll see the titles more. I don't know, but
that being said, there's 5 titles on Raw then.
Yeah,
that's 5 sets of titles, and then you put a 24/7. That's 6. They didn't even have that many segments. Yeah, when you think about it, I never really thought about it that way, but they don't even have enough segments to have these belts.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the problem with having them all. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what they can do, but it's just a little disappointing that the Iconics didn't get the TV time they deserved. I mean, they're so entertaining. We speak about it regularly, probably. We definitely speak about it off the podcast. Is that they're just so funny and so entertaining in the backstage segments that they do, the stuff that's on the YouTube for WWE. They hopefully they can.
Did you see Billy Kay trying to fight John Cone?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, that was pretty funny. They just everything they do is just great. So it's a little disappointing that they didn't get the run that they probably deserved, but maybe I think it's probably time for a fresh start, and hopefully Bliss and Nikki can do something with the belts. And then in the final segment for Raw, it was supposed to be Miz and Dolph Ziggler signing their contract for their SummerSlam match. And then after Dolph signed the contract, Miz revealed that the opponent for Dolph would not be The Miz, and it wouldn't be Shawn Michaels, to which Goldberg came out, and then he said, Dolph Ziggler, you're next. What are your thoughts on the Ziggler-Goldberg match?
I don't care, but I know you're probably excited, but don't really care for it, but at least Dolph's kind of feels fresh compared to being Dolph versus Miz. I mean, Dolph on SmackDown, you don't have it here, but obviously he came out to Goldberg's music, and that kind of turned me around for the Goldberg match, even though it's just going to be a squash. But I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to feel about this, because you're right. I don't want to see Miz and Dolph again, especially on a long SummerSlam card where there's a lot of matches, and you want every match to sort of have some time and whatnot. But I don't know. Why are we having this match?
All right, world's biggest Goldberg fan.
No, but I don't understand what this does. So Dolph's probably going to get squashed. Do we agree with that?
Yes, but what comes out of it? Dolph wins. Nothing.
Yeah, but
It doesn't do anything for him.
It doesn't do anything either way, I don't think. I mean,
it's just another match on the card.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that we get to see Goldberg, I guess, and I guess it'll be probably short, so hopefully it won't take away from some of the matches like Styles and Ricochet. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's cool that we don't have to, the last match for Undertaker and Goldberg won't be that match that they had in Saudi Arabia, so
sure,
we don't have to think about that. On SmackDown, Aleister Black defeated Sami Zayn. The match was supposed to take place at SummerSlam, I believe, but they brought it forward. Aleister Black said the match was going to happen tonight. So Black wins. What were your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, the match was fine, but I still think it should have been our idea where it was just a black mass to start the match and that was it. I still I wrote down that I was still hoping that it was at SummerSlam, but maybe they didn't think there's enough time on the card. Maybe there's already another squash match planned, aka Dolph Ziggler and Goldberg. But that was fine. Do you reckon that's the end of the feud, and then on to the next guy?
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I had it in my head. There was a match that he had in NXT, one of his first matches, where the guy, so Aleister Black sort of just standing in the corner, and the guy's sort of just mouthing off and pointing at him, and once he gets close enough, Aleister Black just spins and hits him with Black Mass out of nowhere.
Yeah,
pins him and wins. I don't know. In my head, I just have that for Sami Zayn, just sort of talking trash to him, and then Black hits him with the kick out of nowhere. I feel like that would have been cool, but the match was fine. Black's super impressive, and the crowd was sort of into him, so that's good. And
yeah, it was. Yeah,
the Black Mass is just such a when he hits it, it's just so good.
It's like a good Judas elbow, Judas effect.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to Chris Jericho. Do you have anything else you want to talk about from Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah. I'll say you covered all the good points on Raw. Don't need to talk about that. Maybe just could they have actually done the 24/7 title at a doctor's office, not backstage at Raw?
Yeah, how bad
could they have made that any obvious?
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it?
No. I say SmackDown. Trish and Charlotte's promo was nice. Got the story across for me. I liked it. Trish said, "Fuck you," slapped the shit out of Charlotte. And Charlotte, she's too good. She's above her level. So Charlotte left. She didn't even fight back. So just shows the class of the queen. I reckon this is going to be a good match on the show. And then quickly just want to mention another weird Shelton Benjamin promo. Are you challenging for the 24/7 title? Well, and then he walked away. So
Yeah,
okay.
I almost wrote that down in the recap, but I decided against it.
So that happened. There wasn't really any Randy and Kofi thing, was there? It was just Kofi talking.
Yeah, Kofi did like a similar.
Which okay, whatever.
I mean,
Compared to the Universal titles ending.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I'm excited for that match. I think the promo package that they're going to air before that one is going to be pretty cool. So
yeah,
I'm excited for that. And that sort of does it for the Raw and SmackDown recap. So we'll get stuck into NXT Takeover Toronto and our predictions. First match, the only non-title match on the card is Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. Who do you have winning this one, Nat?
I have the sniper of the sky, Shirai. Just for the fact that I just don't think Candice is going to win. I don't think they will turn Io heel for nothing. Yeah. I think Io is going to be the next big heel in NXT. And we'll get into the other prediction later on, but I think she's the next one. I think Candice is she's still got to find her footing in NXT. She's got to find a real character for herself. And so I don't think she's going to win here.
Yeah, I agree. I think Io wins. Pretty much the same points that you said. I think a loss for Candice doesn't hurt her as much as it does if Io lost. I think Candice is an underdog baby face that we can sort of get behind, similar to Johnny. I don't know. She's just so likable that I feel like a loss won't really hurt that much, and the crowd's still going to cheer for her and want her to win it, whatever matches she has next. So Io makes the most sense, I think, especially after the heel turn, like you said. The tag team titles are on the line. The Street Profits against Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish of Undisputed Era. Who do you have winning this one?
The gold is going to be Undisputed once more, I think. I think Street Profits are going to go to the main roster. I really think why do they keep over and over showing them on the main roster? I think Paul Heyman has a fetish for them, and he wants to see them. He wants the smoke. He wants Street Profits on Raw, and I think they're going to drop the titles to Undisputed Era. I really think this is going to happen.
Well, I think they retain. I don't know. You make a very good point, and I don't know why they have them on the main roster with the title. I don't know. I just think it's a good little advertising tool to have them sort of on Raw every week with the tag titles. It's I don't know. I like that.
I mean, I didn't like when they did that segment last week with Seth Rollins. They said they were going to burn it down.
Right. I mean, they drank milk with Kurt Angle this week, so
that was cool.
Super entertaining. I can't fault the Street Profits being on the main roster, and I can't fault your prediction, but I don't know, because then I think Roddy has to win if the Undisputed Era win the tag titles. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Street Profits just because I got to make them up somewhere. So I'll lock in my boys. The North American title is on the line in a triple threat match. Velveteen Dream defending against Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. Do we have a new champion here as well?
All the belts are going to be undisputed. And I'm going to say this is because he's going to pin Pete Dunne. Nice. And the other side of the argument could be Dream pins Dunne. And then you can still have Roddy and Dream at probably next TakeOver, whenever that is. That's probably like a couple months away. Dream Roddy, you could have that down the line, but I think it's going to happen then and there because Pete Dunne is going to be the fall guy. He's going to take the pin. I don't see Pete Dunne winning at all. Not even a 1% chance. I think, Roddy will pull out the win, the king of the backbreaker.
This is a tough one. I don't know. I could see Roddy pinning Dream as well. And then, because Pete Dunne, I mean, he seems like he's in NXT now for good, so whether Dream moves on to something else, I'm not too sure. But I'm gonna pick Velveteen Dream just because I've sort of, I feel like it's all or nothing. One of us is gonna get all of these right because it's gonna be all Undisputed Era or it's not. So
no, I don't think that's the case. I think personally, I just think Undisputed Era will win the tag titles. But Roddy not winning the North American title isn't a big deal because there's ways around him to continue going for it.
That's true. Well, I've got the Dream retaining. I don't know. They usually don't really change too many titles on a takeover, so I'll go with the Dream to retain, and I don't know. I just don't think his reigns over yet. I want him to become the best North American champion we've ever had out of all 4 of them. So, yeah, I'll back him in. This match is going to be a lot of fun, though. Are you looking forward to this one?
Yes, I am looking forward to it greatly.
The next match is for the NXT Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler defending against the HBIC.
I was about to say.
Yeah, the head baddie in charge, Mia Yim, who walked out as the women's champion.
The HBIC, Mia Yim, she's gonna beat Shayna Baszler. She's worked out how to beat Shayna. She's neutralized the two of the horsewomen, and I think Shayna should move on to better things. I think she's ready for the main roster. Honestly, she's the spark the main roster needs. She can challenge Becky Lynch straight away if that's the way you think the title's gonna go. She could even go on SmackDown and kill Bayley or Ember Moon. I mean, I think she's ready. She's the like the X factor they kind of need since they're missing Ronda, and she has a lot of Ronda in her. And I mean, I think you didn't love her as much back in the day either, but she's really proven herself now.
I think you hit the nail on the head with the thing that she should go to Raw. I've got Mia winning as well because I think Shayna, again, like you said, should be moving up. And I mean, if she goes to Raw and it goes after Becky, I mean, Becky's the one that beat her.
Becky's still talking about Ronda.
Yeah, so I mean, it just makes a lot of sense if they don't have Ronda. They have one of Ronda's best friends, and whether they bring the other horsewomen up or not, I don't think it matters either way.
I reckon they should bring them up with her, but they don't have to wrestle on Raw. They can still do NXT stuff.
I think they could probably stay in NXT for a bit, get better in the ring, and then I think at some point that could be a way that Baszler wins the title. Maybe you bring the horsewomen in, sort of help her or something like that. I don't know. There's options there, which is.
And then we see Sasha.
Just everyone's booking anything to get Sasha back. Undisputed Era beating up on Johnny Gargano, and then Sasha makes the save. Like, it's just makes sense.
Exactly.
So Mia Yim for me, new champion. It just makes sense that I think it's time to move on. I think I've picked Shayna to lose the title at every takeover since like the start of the so eventually I'll get it right. And then the main event is 2 out of 3 falls. Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, their third straight main event for Takeover. It's more 3 stages of hell for those that remember the good old days. The first fall, Adam Cole picked it. I don't know if it's the first fall, but one of them will be just a straight up one-on-one match. Johnny Gargano chose a street fight for the other fall, and then if there's a third fall, William Regal will pick it. I don't know if that's been announced yet. But,
you didn't announce it.
Adam Cole defending against Johnny. Who do you have winning this one?
I have the undisputed champion, Adam Cole. I think we're going to see no more Johnny Takeover. I think he's going to move on to a bit bigger and better things somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think this is his 15th Takeover out of 26. So.
Wow.
I mean, it's the most out of anybody. It just makes sense. It makes sense that he sort of finishes up here, closes it out against Adam Cole, puts him over, and then hopefully main roster, not 205 Live or something like that. But I mean, I'm so looking forward to this one. They've torn it down the last 2 takeovers, so I can't imagine how good this one's going to be, especially with some stipulations in place. I'm sort of intrigued what the third one will be if they use it. Does Regal not announcing it yet make you think that it won't go to 3 falls?
No, I reckon it will. I reckon it's just a case of he comes out and announces it after the second fall.
What do you feel like it'll be?
I tried to think of really what it was, but it's like, what can they really have? I don't think it's going to be Lance Last Man Standing. I think it can be something as simple as a ladder match or a TLC match. Like, I don't know what else you'd really have, because you're not going to have a steel cage match. You're not going to have it there.
I feel like, that would be like too obvious. If there's a big cage hanging over the top of the ring, like, people probably figure that one out. I think a ladder match makes sense. You can just lower that thing that holds the belts and then get stuck in. That's what I want. To close out this feud, to be a ladder match between these two would be so much fun. So
yeah,
I'm hoping for that. And my guy Adam Cole's retaining. There's no way around that. He's like you said, he's the undisputed champion. So Cole walks out of Takeover as champion. How much are you looking forward to this card as a whole?
Very much. I can't watch it live though, so I'm very sad about that. Going to the old football, but that's okay. I get to watch it after the matter of the fact. So that's fine. It's gonna be a great show. I don't think there's not a single bit of that show I'm gonna skip at all. So we're in for a good one.
5 matches, and they could all be main eventing. Really, there's
Bangers, yeah.
So much good wrestling on this show. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll move over to SummerSlam now, and so far there's been 10 matches announced. I mean, we'll probably get some more. I don't know. We'll just make the predictions as we go when they get announced, Nat. But we'll throw our predictions for these 10 matches out first. We'll start with the Cruiserweight Championship, which I would assume would probably be on the pre-show. This got announced yesterday. Only Lorcan winning a 6-pack challenge. He'll challenge Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title. Who do you have winning this one?
Drew Gulak. It's not even a question of it.
Makes sense. I'll go with Gulak as well.
Not even a weak build to this, so I don't know.
You can't just hotshot the title onto Oni, even though he's great. It just doesn't make sense. And Drew's in the middle of hopefully a long run. I'm hoping for anyway.
Yeah.
The United States Championship is on the line. AJ Styles defends against Ricochet. Who do you have winning this one?
I have the Alexander Joshua Styles. I think he's going to retain once more. And the OG, OC, BC, whatever, they're going to stand tall.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? I want to pick Ricochet, but I can't. I think AJ wins this one. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really pick a way that Ricochet wins this one. It just makes sense that AJ won it. What was the last pay-per-view? I've already forgotten.
Action Rules.
Yeah, that's the one. So he's won it. He's only held it for like a month, so it just makes sense that he retains here. And I don't know whether they continue on with this feud or not, but yeah, I mean it's the OC. They don't lose apparently. They just win titles, which is
just win.
Yeah, this is news to me. Gallows now some winning all the time. The match we spoke about a little earlier, Dolph Ziggler is going to wrestle Goldberg. Do we see this one? How long? That's a good prediction. How long do you think this match goes for?
1 minute 40.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it gets past a couple minutes, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Who do you have winning?
I'll have the old bird Goldberg winning, and I assume you're the same.
Yeah, big bill for me.
I'll just chuck in here. What do you think of Luke Gallows' face paint?
Yeah, actually, that's something we should have brought up. I liked it. It scared me at first a little bit. He looked like
It's good tactic.
He looked like the Warlord. Was the Warlord the one?
Yeah.
He looked like that. I was kind of scared.
No, yeah, it looked good.
It's something different, and I don't know. You got to try anything at some point, so fine by me. So yeah, we both have Goldberg winning that one. Next match is Finn Balor versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Who do you have winning this?
I've got the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Obviously, he's gonna take this out easily. Finn Balor's obviously gonna have some time off, so it's just a matter of how long this match is gonna go for and how the Fiend wrestles.
Yeah, there's a lot of intrigue. Like I feel like the outcome is probably the thing that's least intriguing about this, because I feel like we all know where it's going. Bray's entrance, his music, how he wrestles, I don't know, everything about the match and leading up to the match I'm excited about, except I just know Bray's going to win. I feel like everyone should know that.
Yeah.
It makes sense for him to lose. It's his first match as the Fiend, so yeah, I'm backing Bray in as well, but I'm very much looking forward to this, even though I feel like it's probably a foregone conclusion that we all know that Finn takes the L here. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. And if Kevin Owens loses, he will quit the WWE. Who do you have winning this one?
Well, that's not happening, so it's Kevin Owens winning against Shane McMahon.
Yeah, that's usually what happens with these stipulations, isn't it? So.
And they didn't say SmackDown, they said WWE, so that makes me think, no, he's not going to lose.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a kind of boring day with our predictions. We're just sort of walking the same, but yeah, I think I think Kevin wins. It just doesn't make sense. I was kind of hoping on SmackDown that Shane did agree that he'd quit as well if he lost, but we didn't get it, unfortunately.
Maybe he'll be so upset he lost that he quits.
Oh, God. I just don't want him on TV. We don't need authority figures on TV. I feel like we've probably been saying it for the last 5 years.
Except Baron Corbin.
Oh, yeah. I miss his little vest. The next match, a dream match, Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus. Who do you have winning this?
I've got Charlotte winning. I mean, Trish winning doesn't do anything. But you never know. With the WWE, it's in her hometown. You never know. Give her a cheeky win. But that wouldn't be great for the Queen. So I think she's going to stand tall at her kingdom.
Yeah, I think they book Charlotte pretty well. And they don't want her to lose matches like these high-profile matches. This just builds her resume. And yeah, like you said, beating Trish in her hometown is just that's a huge accomplishment, I think, for Charlotte. So it just makes sense to me that Charlotte wins. SmackDown Women's title is on the line. Bayley defending against Ember Moon. Do we have a new champion coming out of SummerSlam?
Oh, personally, I don't think so. I think Bayley's going to retain. I don't see this match being any good, honestly. That's just a personal opinion. Don't have to agree with it. I'm not a huge fan of Ember Moon, but I like some of her stuff. I just think they haven't really developed her as a character on screen. Obviously, how can you not like the Eclipse? That's a pretty cool move, but I don't know. It's just a very babyface versus babyface match. There's not doing much for me. There's rumors backstage that Vince hates Ember Moon. I saw another article this week about it. So I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of, this match was built on Bayley just picking Ember Moon. So I don't know. I think Bayley retains here. She's sort of in the middle of a title run as well. It doesn't feel like she's at the end of her run. So
agreed.
I'm gonna lock in Bayley. You never know. We might see Sasha Banks. This is the
always. Yeah. You might even see Sasha Banks in the next match.
Exactly, and that next match is Kofi Kingston winning his WWE Championship against the Viper, Randy Orton. Who do you have winning this one, Nat?
I'm gonna say Kofi retains, and bases on the thing that I think that the story they're really telling is this is a redemption for Kofi for 2009. I think this is going to be Kofi maybe just comes out on top. I don't know. I kind of want to see a match with them at Hell in a Cell. So, I mean, I guess Randy could win, but I'm going to say the championship still stays with the New Day.
This is the first match we disagree on. I'm going to go with Randy Orton winning the title. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Randy Orton's a heel right now, but I think if he takes the title off Kofi, that makes him a heel. Especially, this will be his, how many title reigns did he have? Like 13, 14-ish?
Yeah, something like that.
So, to get another reign and to be at the expense of Kofi, who's, only in his first, and it's this, it's triumphant thing for Kofi to have the belt. It's, I think it's perfect for Orton to lose, and like you said, they can have another couple matches over the next few pay-per-views, and Kofi can probably win it back there. That would be nice. But I don't know. I felt like Joe might be the one to beat Kofi, and I was wrong. So I don't know. Maybe it's Orton's time. I'm not too sure. The next match is Becky Lynch versus Natalya for the Raw Women's title in a submission match. Who do you have winning this one?
I'm actually gonna shock you and say Natalya.
Really?
I'm just gonna choose. I'm gonna choose her just because I don't like Becky as the champion. I don't care for Becky at the moment. I mean, I know I said Shayna Baszler another one, and I said she could face Becky on the main roster, but I think Natalya gets a win here. I don't know. Even though it's in Canada, it's not in her hometown, but it's still a big deal. And I don't know, submission match. That's Bret Hart's thing. So maybe Natalya wins. I don't know. Don't care. I thought I'd just choose a weird pick there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Becky to retain. I don't know. I feel like these women's title matches, they've sort of just thrown them together, and it just doesn't. I don't know. I feel like they could have had bigger matches, for the pay-per-view. But yeah, I just can't see Becky losing to Natalya. But then again, a couple years ago, I couldn't see Natalya winning the title at SummerSlam, and she did. So
exactly.
You just never know.
I just thought I'd give you a chance to bring the lead back.
Oh, yeah, this is my chance to catch up. So if Becky drops this one, I'm going to be pretty pissed. So the next match, and the last match we have here, is Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title. Who do you have winning this one?
I have Seth, but you never fucking know.
Well, we disagree on the final 3, which is nice. I think.
What? Wow.
Well, I don't understand. Like, Brock's literally beating the shit out of him. Like, he's dead, basically.
Okay, who do you see next for Lesnar then?
I don't know. It's probably like 6 months from now anyway, so I mean, they got time.
I mean, I guess Strowman could be, but I don't know. I don't want to see that.
I mean, it makes no sense to me. If Brock loses this match, like it's gonna have to be shenanigans of some sort. It's gonna be another dick punch from Seth or something like.
Yeah, but where are you gonna go after that? I don't know what you do.
Brock shows up at Survivor Series, has his champion versus champion match, and then he wrestles at the Royal Rumble.
I disagree. I think Brock's here to be on TV more since Heyman's in charge. I honestly think he's on TV more because of that.
He's going to go to Lexington, Kentucky to work the live event. Just, there we
go. Yeah, maybe in Poughkeepsie or Saskatchewan. I don't know. I just don't see where Lesnar would go from there.
I mean, I don't see it either, but I can't. My thing is, don't bet against Brock just because they fucking love him and he keeps winning. So
that's true.
You never know. I'm going to be pulling for Seth to win this one, but yeah, what are you going to do? I just got to swoop on the opportunity if Seth loses. So
that's fair enough.
I'll bank on Brock. Bank on Brock, the beast in the bank. You know, Brock.
Oh God, shut the fuck up.
Brock party. All right, so that's our predictions. If they make any more matches for SummerSlam, we'll converse via text message and we'll throw them up. Later on in the week, close to the event. So that leads us into Nat's news roundup.
Bow. Time for the news. Bow. It's my own stig.
Good sound effects.
So first up we got Cody Rhodes and AEW. They've fought through Ticketmaster issues and sold more than 9,200 tickets for the first show in Washington DC for AEW's TV tapings. And Cody Rhodes tweeted out, "They are sold out. Thank you all so much. Do not give up hope on being there live, though. We should be lifting potential production holds as we get closer to the event." So, sold out first show. What do you think?
I mean, it's exciting because they're going to have people in the arena, which is always a good sign. And the people that will be there will be hardcore wrestling fans. The fact that they've bought the tickets so quickly, like they're going to be into the show. So it'll be a good first show, I think.
I agree with that. I think it's funny how went from All In, like it was a big deal to sell 10,000 tickets, and now just 10,000 tickets is just a weekly show. Yeah. I think that's actually kind of cool to think about how far they've come. Next up, we have New Japan Pro Wrestling have announced this evening that Yo. So we're wondering where Show's tag team partner was for the New Japan Cup. Yo is in it, Ibushi, and the Amazing Red will be a part of the Super J Cup. So, have you watched much of Amazing Red, Pricey Dog?
When I was younger.
From TNA? Yeah.
I saw him a little bit in TNA, but I know Will Ospreay is really excited. He wanted to wrestle Amazing Red.
It's his mentor almost.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool.
So this match would make this tournament would make Amazing Red's first time wrestling for New Japan, and he originally retired back in March, citing several neck injuries, but he's going to make a return. So that makes it Amazing Red, Ibushi, Yo, and they're joining TJP, Sho, and Karistico from CMLL, Taguchi, and the Bone Soldier Taji Ishimori as the participants in the tournament. Overall, there'll be 16, including wrestlers from New Japan, CMLL, and Ring of Honor. And Will Ospreay and El Phantasmo have been featured on the advertising, but they've yet to be announced for the tournament. So I guess, I don't know, they're just waiting on something. Not sure why, but I'd imagine they would just give Will Ospreay his match with Amazing Red that he's always asked for.
Yeah. I mean,
so
if they bring him into the company for a tournament and not have that match, it just doesn't really make sense.
Yes. Yeah. So next up we have AAA Triple Mania. So that went down over the weekend. I didn't actually have the chance to watch it. I really wanted to watch it. It was on Twitch. Did you catch any of it all, or you didn't really care?
No, I wasn't able to catch any of it.
So we'll go through two matches. I know it's a little bit silly. I'll just choose out the two Western matches, but who cares? This is my segment. We got the 6-man tag that was El Texano, Taurus, and mystery partner, which was Killer Cross. They were defeated by Psycho Clown, the Roller Coaster, Cody Rhodes, and UFC star Cain Velasquez, which was really, really exciting. I watched some highlights of this match, and he could actually move pretty well in the ring for a guy who probably only been training for a year or two. He looked good, looked like a cruiserweight in the ring. And the other match to make note of is Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, and Laredo Kid defeated Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. You got to see some backstage stuff on Being the Elite. That was pretty cool. So next up, we have the WWE 2K20 cover reveal. And it has been announced that it is now Becky Lynch and Roman Reigns to grace the holy grail of the cover. And it's set to be released worldwide for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on Tuesday, October 22nd. For us, that'll be Wednesday, the 23rd. This is the first time two wrestlers have shared the cover since WWE's partnership with 2K Sports began in 2013, which also makes Lynch the first woman to be the cover star for the WWE 2K series. What did you think of this?
I mean, it makes sense. I don't think has Roman been on the cover yet? He hasn't, has he?
I don't think he's been on an actual cover.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, I was kind of hoping it was just Becky, but I mean...
you're one of those, Marks.
It would have been cool just to have just Becky, but makes sense. Roman's, I mean, probably the biggest star that they have.
The best covers have multiple people on them.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, it's just a cover, so it's just cool that both of them get the opportunity.
Well, I said to you last night that I'll actually probably buy this. I just like the feature they have. There's going to be a 4 horsewomen kind of mode. You go through their careers, and then there's going to be a women's my career, which is so different. There's a rumored GM mode coming, which I know that's just going to make Bro Price pre-order this thing and go line up at midnight. 100%. So I think this is a good game. And there's also been rumors that there's going to be a second WWE game launching in the near future by another company, the old THQ or whatever. So that'll be cool to look at. Next up, we have AEW announcing the host cities for their second and third TV tapings. Episode 2 of AEW TV will take place at the Agganis Arena in Boston, Massachusetts, Wednesday, October 9th. And the Licoraris, I can't say that, Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which will host the third episode. The listed capacity of the second taping is 6,150 for hockey and 8,000 for concerts, so probably looking maybe 7,000. And the next arena is 10,000 seats as well. So they're going pretty big for the first couple tapings, which is good. While you're hot, you might as well sell them out.
I mean, it's good choice in cities. I think that's going to be interesting to see what happens, whether they sell them out.
Yeah, exactly. I can only assume on BT when the Bucks suggested a place to host tapings, so they would have definitely said LA. Yeah. So next up we have the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, have actually announced they're going to actually be holding TV tapings this fall. And the company posted a video with the NWA president, Billy Corgan, talking about studio tapings from the 70s and 80s, leading to an announcement about their own tapings. The video then announced that the tapings will be held in Atlanta, Georgia, September 30 and October 1st. No venue has been announced, nor was it mentioned where the tapings would be airing. Sorry. So next up, Ruby Riott has undergone her second shoulder surgery in a year. After having surgery, Riott posted a picture on social media and captured round 2 fight. Riot also had surgery on her right shoulder in May to repair a bilateral injury. WWE's announced that at the time that she would have had to undergo surgery on her left shoulder at a later date. So that's now. So she's going to be out for a little bit. It's possibly at Royal Rumble, she'd be back, I reckon. So next up we have G1. We have G1 news. There's just the G1 standings. Some more people have been eliminated. In Block 1, in Block A, there's only 2 people that can win it now. Block A, it's Okada and Ibushi. And I think Okada's going to win the overall G1, to be honest. Block B, it's pretty wide open still. Moxley on 10, JY on 8. Who do you think's going to win G1?
With no knowledge whatsoever, I'm going to say Okada.
Yeah, it's looking like an Okada-Moxley final, but Jay White's on a tear at the moment, winning some matches back, so it might turn out to be Okada and Jay White. So in that case, I would think Okada beats him, making him the first G1 winner as the champion since 2000. We got some PWG news. Confirmed last night that Pentagon Jr. will be an entrant in this year's Battle of Los Angeles. There's only one wrestler left to be announced. Obviously, the format is if current champion Jeff Cobb doesn't win, the winner of the tournament gets a future shot at the PWG World Championship. Here's a list of the entrants that we actually care about. Jonathan Gresham, Darby Allin, Mick Moretti, Orange Cassidy, Bandito, Ray Phoenix, Joey Janela, Brody King, Jungle Boy, Jeff Cobb, Dragon Lee, and Pentagon Jr. So a pretty stacked lineup. So looking good. I don't know if the last guy is going to be the biggest name. So we'll have to wait and see. Got some interesting news. I didn't see this reported anywhere. I saw this as like a footnote on the Wrestling Observer website. And well, remember that guy Bobby Lashley who died from Braun Strowman?
I do.
Well, he's injured, and it was reported that he has undergone surgery to remove bone spurs in his elbow and is on track to return in early November.
I mean, this is kind of good. I mean, he can have a big return when he comes back, and you never know, they might turn him into a main event player again, hopefully.
He's going to be a tag team with Braun.
Exactly.
And then they're going to fight Brock Lesnar for the Universal title.
In a handicap match.
Exactly right. So Roman Reigns sticking his foot in things again, told ESPN that he disagrees with Jon Moxley's comments that he made about WWE's creative process. Have you heard about this at all?
Yeah, I have.
Well, he said, I'll tell you straight up, I disagree with what Ambrose said about the creative process. He said he loves the guy, loves him to death. He's my brother, and wrestling ain't going to stop that. On a personal level, we can hang out and have a beer. But when it comes down to it creative-wise, that's on you. Communication is communication. When you go in there and you talk to the boss, you got to let him know. I don't understand what he means by this because Moxley said that he did talk to Vince and he would always shut him down.
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know why people care that much. It makes sense. Like, we want Vince to, we want the wrestlers to have creative freedom and whatnot, but, I mean, it's just Roman giving his opinion. It's fine. That'll be fine.
Fuck Roman's opinion. So next up we have, I'll just put this out there, Titus ONeills. His book has been released, and it's called "There's No Such Thing as a Bad Kid: How I Went from Stereotype to Prototype." The kind of the previews for this book have been pretty good. If you want a nice positive story, I would actually buy this. I'm thinking about it. You can buy it on Amazon. It's available everywhere. It's just a great story. Titus ONeills had a hard upbringing, and he's doing great things in the world now. So I think it's one to look out for. So next up, just a quick YouTube roundup. There's they're winding up Xavier Woods and Tyler Breeze on Up Up Down Down. It's getting to near the end, episode 64. So catch that. We have Sheamus's Celtic Warrior workouts. Episode 89, Heavy Machinery. We also have Mandy's Donuts, episode 48. Chelsea Green has a new video, which we just missed off the air last week. And it was a video called #AskVXT with Diana Perazzo. So I assume there's a Q&A. I have to go back and watch that. Eric Bugenhagen has some videos, and WEPC has some videos. They had a big Fandango video I've yet to watch that got a lot of views, so I'll have to catch that at some stage. And lastly, the wrestling roundup. Ring of Honor was poo, as you'd know from me watching it last night.
Yep, fact.
The Being the Elite, the 164. I said, is this one of the best episodes ever? I said Throwback was so cool, and shout out to dead friend Adam Cole.
Oh, how good was this for them to just go back and do what made the show so good in the first place?
It was just good. This is like what BT was missing for a while. I get it. You had to progress stories for your pay-per-views and stuff, but this is what made BTE, and that's what all the comments says on YouTube, and it's just a bit of nostalgia.
I'm hoping that when they have their TV show start, that they can just go and do this. Like, I don't want to see them be funny, but we don't need them to further storylines with all these different wrestlers. Like, we just want to see the Elite having fun backstage.
Yeah, that's what I want BT to go back to when TV starts.
Yeah, it'd be so much fun, so good.
Well. Yeah, so that being said, I've yet to catch MLW, but Davey Boy Smith Jr. has a match. 205 Live, obviously the six-pack challenge. That was I wouldn't say a good match. It was a bit of a clusterfuck. It was a bit of waiting around for spots, but I wouldn't say it was bad. I'd say go out of your way to watch it. NXT, the go-home show, wasn't that interesting. I mean, their go-home shows aren't usually that great. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, Street Profits and Undisputed Era had some good back and forth. That was pretty cool. NXT UK, once again, that was boring too. It was nothing really on. That was two matches. Noam Dar and versus some UK jobber bloke. And Jazzy Gabbert and Ginny faced off against Piper Niven and the other girl, forgot her name. That was fine. Whatever. New Japan catch up. I've been a tiny bit behind, but if you can, I would go out of your way to watch Sonata versus Okada, where it got right down to the last 2 minutes, and the outcome was surprising. So that's your wrestling roundup.
Lovely stuff. Obviously, a lot of wrestling going on at the moment, especially with this weekend. So make sure you check out all your wrestling. Keep up to date. But that leads us into this week's top 5.
Well, it's time for the top 5, and the top 5 is top 5 Canadian male WWE superstars of all time. Now, I did that on purpose because I would have had to put Trish Stratus on this list. So we'll just start off with some honorable mentions because I feel like it'd be wrong not to. Roddy Piper, obviously, is Canadian-born. Owen Hart and Christian had to put. I was close to putting Christian in the list, but I just think my list is too darn good. So we'll get into it. Number 5, Chris Benoit. I say what you want about the murderer man himself, but as a wrestler, he's up there. He did a lot with his career. He won the WCW World Heavyweight title. He won the World Heavyweight title in WWE. He won numerous Intercontinental and US titles and tag belts, and I think he's just wrestling-wise, he's one of the best.
Yeah, I can't really fault him, can you? Apart from his personal stuff, but his in-ring stuff is spot on.
I think so. He did. I mean, he was murdered by Kevin Sullivan, as some would have you believe. But number 4, we have Kevin Owens, and I would have said if this was maybe a year ago, maybe not on this list, but his recent run he's having now, I think he's doing some great work. Number 4, Kevin Owens, your former Universal Champion that you sometimes forget about. Number 3, we're going with the Matt Riddle's favorite superstar, I'd say, Chris Jericho. And I mean, Chris Jericho on most lists, he's going to be number 1, but Canadians, there's some good competition here. So maybe he's possibly the next AEW World Champion. Very, very much a possibility. So Chris Jericho, long career, started in about 94, I think, 93, with Lance Storm all the way through WWE and WCW and ECW up until now. Number 2, we're going to have to go with the man who showed us the AEW World Championship, and that's Bret Hart. And I'm not a huge fan of Bret Hart's work. But in the matches where people say you need to watch, like the Shawn Michaels Iron Man match or the match with Stone Cold, he really performs. And I think it would be wrong to leave him off the list. He's very influential in Canada. And number 2 is Bret Hart. So number 1, we had to go for him. The man himself, the Viking himself, Edge. And what can we say? This is our childhood heel. This is our Roddy Piper. This is our bad guy. He's a 9-time world champion. He's everything you could have asked for from a heel. And even as a face, he was great. And he's still doing great work these days now on his podcast.
Just one of the best, isn't he? Kind of upset. He got his career cut slightly short. I know he didn't want to go much longer, but I don't know. WrestleMania match with Christian, that would have been fun.
Yeah, he always said, he kind of wanted to retire after the Christian match if they were going to have a TLC. So that's interesting. That's your top 5. There you go.
Lovely stuff. And I think we're probably just about done. So make sure you go onto your podcast account or iTunes or wherever you can rate us, subscribe. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WrestlingPod as well. Nathan at Nathan Marlowe. I'm at Evil Brody Price. Is there anything else that you want to get off your chest, Nat, before we go to SummerSlam? Go to Toronto?
Nah. It's going to be a lot of wrestling to watch, isn't there?
There is, but it's going to be a fun weekend, I think.
Oh, no, it's good. It's all good.
Yeah, so make sure everyone, you cheer for Adam Cole at TakeOver and make sure he gets the win. But until next week, stay hunky.